I'm from Japan and I found him online.
The communication styles between Japan and America are really different.
She was, teaching me French and I was teaching her Japanese. And that's how we started our relationship.
で結構関係が続くか合わないなって切れちゃうか変わるかなと思う。
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview interracial couples in Japan. How did you meet each other? Okay, let's get started. Okay, thank you for your time. You guys are a couple, right? So where did you meet? Where you from?
I'm from the UK.
I'm from Japan and I found him online. So 2 years ago, I went to the UK because I wanted to see him. Before, we didn't meet.
No, we met online and then we were talking for maybe like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we arranged to have a holiday together, but I couldn't come over to Japan because it was the COVID situation. But the UK, they opened the borders. So you flew over to see me for the very first time.
Just to see him.
Yeah, just see him.
I know, I'm a lucky guy. Too lucky, right?
Which app did you use?
Hello, Talk.
So you started language exchanging stuff and then...
I didn't think I'm gonna find a boyfriend there, but yeah, I just found him and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think the first thing you messaged me was, when are you coming back to Japan? So normally people message everyone like, oh, can I practice English? Can I practice English? Can I practice Japanese? And the first thing you said was, when are you coming back? And I was like, oh, maybe in 2 years' time. And then we got talking and then...
6 months.
6 months, yeah. So we waited 6 months, we booked the flights and everything, and then you came over. We spent a month together doing like a road trip around a train trip around the UK. So we visited like Manchester, we visited like loads of different other places apart from just London. And then we decided, we want to be together. So you got the visa to stay in the UK, and we lived in Leeds in the UK, yeah. So we lived a year and a half in Leeds.
So in Japan, Japanese people always like, even we don't say anything, they're gonna understand. But for them, we have to say everything. So I wanna he's gonna get something from me even I don't say anything, but it's impossible because he can't guess.
Yeah. So in the UK, it's kind of like, if you don't ask, you don't get kind of feeling. So you should ask something and then it's easy to like understand. It's like kind of communication. But in Japan, it's more like subtle than that. It's like a different kind of feeling. So that was quite difficult.
Yeah.
And obviously language barrier between us is fine, but between our families is quite challenging. So yeah. But apart from that, I think, we're pretty suited together. So
Now we're in Japan. So what was the reason that you guys decided to come to Japan together?
Because I wanted to introduce him to my parents because he met my dad, but he didn't see my mom. So yeah, we wanted to introduce. Yeah. And then
we got married. So that was the main reason why we wanted to meet the parents and meet all the family so that we could get married. So now we are happily married.
So after being together 3 years, what do you like the most about him? What do you like the most about her?
He's really, really good patient because I'm really, picky and think about me a lot. But yeah, he understands really well. So
she's not afraid to be who she wants to be. She doesn't hide behind or anything like that. She's who she wants to be, and that's for me. That's like really admiring. I admire that. So I think that's the best thing for me.
So you got married, so you met the parents each other, right? How was that experience?
Okay, actually, it's a bit embarrassed because I met his parents first time. The time, actually, I was really drunk and a really, really bad drunk. It was the first time to going to the UK, and then I didn't think the UK alcohol is really strong. I just drank one drink, then I was I was really drunk. I hope it wasn't bad.
No, it was fine. They totally loved you. Yeah. Definitely. It was really interesting because obviously when Yuna met my parents, they kind of classic British welcome, run up, give them a hug, like, oh my God, so nice to meet you. And then obviously when I met her parents, it's more like, this kind of, very, very polite. So it felt like I didn't actually properly get to meet them, which is a bit weird. But obviously over time, it started to, I started to get a bit closer with them and understand them and talk with them a bit better. But definitely, there's more of a barrier between Japanese families compared to maybe Western families, especially British families. They're a lot more opening.
You guys live in Japan indefinitely, for a long time, or do you have any plans to go back to the UK together?
Probably going to go back maybe next year. Yeah. I think Japan is an interesting place to live, and there's a lot of stuff here. It's quite tough to live here for us. We just found it more comfortable to live in the UK. So
For you as well?
Definitely. I really love Japan because it's easy to live, but at the same time, not too easy, but I need a more
Challenge,
something like a
yeah.
challenge, exciting the feeling. So another country is, for me, more opportunity to try many things, and for you as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like Japan as well. And I think, like, obviously the food here is really nice, the culture here is really nice, and the people here are nice. I just think maybe outside of like the big cities, it's quite hard to maybe meet people and kind of develop those connections. Whereas in the UK, it's like, every time you go out, you meet a new friend and that kind of thing. So I think for us, as sociable people, we prefer the UK.
Is there any message, any advice to those who just started international relationship?
I think don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. We have a culture different, so many times it's difficult to understanding. But if you're gonna talk a lot, then definitely they can understand. So yeah, I think talk a lot.
I think also living in the country helps. If you can, maybe, just for a month or a couple of weeks, just move to your partner's country and experience what it's like there. Gives you a whole new perspective of really how to understand them. So that for me was a big thing, I think.
So you guys are international couples in Japan. How did you guys meet?
We met when she came to my university in Japan in 2019.
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
I'm from Japan.
We were study partners.
But we started going dinner and going karaoke.
And always just for language study, nothing else. And then we started dating finally. Very Japanese, we did confess. The problem was we had only 1 month left until I went back to America to finish my university. So we were kind of deciding whether to do long distance or not. It was a tough choice. We'd only known each other a few weeks at that point. If there was a breakup or do long distance, I didn't want to say goodbye and you didn't either. So now it's been 4.5 years since then.
And how long was the long distance relationship?
Over 2 years and a half.
Japan, America.
Japan and America.
How did you go through long distance relationship? 2 years and a half.
At the time, we both were university students, so we had time. So we had Zoom call like almost every day.
It was meant to only be about 6 months of long distance, but then of course we started dating in 2019.
Something happened.
Something happened in the world and it ended up being 2.5 years. Yeah, but it was hard, but not for the reasons people think. And honestly, I think it gave us really good communication skills with each other now. And Haruki's English improved so much, it exploded. So.
And then now you guys are finally in Tokyo, living together.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your life like in Tokyo together?
Well, I'm a student right now, so I'm still at school every day. But it's a lot of fun, and I'm learning a lot about Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And my language is improving a little bit. So if anyone wants to become better at Japanese, I recommend dating a Japanese guy. But, I think the biggest difference that we had to face and sort of overcome was, so if we were arguing and it was getting too tense, Haruki would want to just stop and sort of walk away, have space. But I'm American, I'm like, no, we need to continue talking until we finish. That was too much pressure for you. But then if we didn't talk, I felt stressed, like he was so mad at me. And so even a little thing could become a big issue at first.
After being together for 4 years, what do you like the most about him, about her?
I want to go first. I really like, he's very focused on self-improvement. So the person he was last year is very different from who he is now, but it's always in an improving way. He's always getting better. So I think that's so cool. And he's so motivated all the time, has so many big ambitions. So it makes me feel more energized and motivated as well.
Yeah, actually the same. She's also very focused on self-improving and also very curious about learning a lot of things. It's interesting to explore together, exploring the world with her.
Any advice to those who just started international relationship?
Don't assume anything, because whatever you think is normal could be very strange to the other person. So instead of assuming anything, try to be open-minded and ask a lot of questions. Then you can really get on the same page and you can grow yourself as a person too.
I would say stay curious because there are many differences each other. But if you stay curious, oh, that's interesting. Why do you do that? Even like taking a shower in the morning or at night, or just communication differences or whatever. So it'll be just learning.
This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Sakurako is a subscription service where you receive a monthly box filled with traditional, authentic, and artisan Japanese snacks. Sakurako helps in partnering with local Japanese snack makers to continue to share Japanese culture and traditions that have been passed down for over 100 years. This month's theme is Beauty of Sakura. Many people say that Japan is the most beautiful in cherry blossom season, and I think so too. So let's immerse ourselves into Japan with these special snacks. Sakurako also has Japanese table every month. This month I got this Neko Sakura dish. This is Sakura dorayaki embraced by wheat dough from Mie Prefecture. Incredibly delicious. This is Anko Castella cake filled with luscious sweet bean paste made from finest Hokkaido red bean. And Tokyo Treat is packed with latest seasonal sweet. In contrast to Sakurako, which represent the traditional Japanese culture, you can feel a modern life in Japan with Tokyo Treat. This month's theme is Sakura Snacktastic. With these snacks, you can feel like you're seeing beautiful cherry blossom in Japan. This is Sakura Castella cake. This fluffy crab-like cake is flavored with real sakura extract. This is Painomi mini pies pear tart. These cute little treats are complete with sweet pear and white chocolate filling. And each snack is explained so that you can see where it's produced. And you can also check allergic information. This will give you more places to go when you come to Japan. So if you like to experience having a good quality Japanese snack around your home, check the link in the description below. Okay, let's get back to interviews. Okay, so thank you for your time. Can you introduce your guys' background? Like, where did you meet? How long have you been together?
Okay, so my name is Kazuya.
My name is Virginia,
Yeah, and I'm a Japanese boy.
and I'm Italian.
Yeah, so we basically met 3 years ago in an application called Languemates, learning exchange for a language. That's how we started our relationship.
Yeah, so at the beginning we were simply friends, but started talking every day, video calling. So at some point we felt it was more than a friendship. At the beginning I was a bit skeptical because, Kazuya lived in Japan and I was from Italy, so I was like, but the more I get to know him, the more I was into him, and he was very serious towards me as well as I was with him. So we decided, despite the distance, to start.
So you guys started relationship without meeting, not even once, right? When did you actually meet in person?
Yeah, so we were supposed to meet after like 4 months, but then COVID started. So because of COVID, we could actually meet after a year and a half.
We met in Maldives. That's because that was the only country we could enter without quarantine. I want to go to Italy and she want to come to Japan, but if I go to Italy, I have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks, which means basically I go to Italy and I have to come back without seeing her because I had work. We searched, where we can meet. One of the only possible country was in Maldives.
It was pretty hard because, of course, we wanted to meet and, go on a date as usual couples do. But we made it because we had a goal, an ending goal. At some point, we knew we were going to close the distance. In my case, I knew I was going to graduate in Italy and then move to Japan to finally live together. So having a goal since the beginning really helped us.
And also, we basically video call every day, time differences, which is so difficult, to be honest. But we try to find even like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to call. And so we basically call every day, or also like text every day, whenever we have time. Like saying that we have no time because of work is such a bullshit. You can make, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, if you really care about the person, of course you can make it.
You guys are living in Tokyo right now together, right? Like, how's your life here together?
I really like Tokyo, living in Tokyo, and finally we closed the distance, so I'm very happy for this. Yeah, at the beginning, of course, I was confused about new environment, the language, but now I'm learning Japanese, and it motivates me a lot to have him, and also because I want to speak with his family in Japanese, so studying Japanese is something that really motivates me.
Every single small thing, normal couple is, regular to go around, walk around for, Sunday or Saturday and just get a coffee. But it was not possible for us. So it's just waking up together every day and like going to like just local neighborhood cafe and get coffee is such a special moment.
Finally, we can experience that. Yeah.
After 3 years, what do you like the most about him, about her?
I like how passionate he is with me, and the fact that he waited for me for 3 years, pretty deep. It means that he's really into me, and I also like the fact that he's very caring and kind.
How like caring she is, and also how like kind towards family. She's really close to her family, which is quite unusual in Japan, I think. But I like that she cares about her family like a lot, and also I like how dramatic she is. Like for me, I would say I'm kind of like lacking in emotion. My emotions like this all the time. I don't really get excited or I don't get sad. But for her, it's like up and down every day, which is super entertaining. So like having this different chemical is really interesting, and I admire that.
Is there anything you wanna say to those who just started long distance relationship or international relationship? Is there anything you wanna say?
For the first one, I would say, a lot of people say it's not gonna work because, and don't listen to them because they never done it, so they cannot really, give you advices. If you finally close a long distance relationship, the moment you have with the partner or in a boyfriend girlfriend is, they cannot, describe. It's such a beautiful moment. So just follow, the goal you guys have. Then try not to listen what the other people say, just try supportive each other, and also whenever they need help, there's like a lot of community like on Facebook or even Instagram, and they will tell you some advices how to go through with a long distance relationship. And she was also in one of the community, and it was helpful for her too.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say at the beginning of a long distance relationship, I would say every relationship, especially long distance relationship, you should talk with your partner about what's for you it's fine and what it's not, because since you're afar, you might take for granted some topics, but maybe for the other person, not. And it might bother the other person, so you have to make sure that you have deeper conversation about all the topics you wanna talk about in a relationship. What's cheating for you, or what's fine and not, something like that.
How about when it comes to international relationship?
For national relationship, I don't really know because let's say I study in Boston for 5 years. So for me, being a relationship with foreign people would be easier
Right.
rather than Japanese. If you want to be in a relationship with international people, I think it's important to speak up and share all the emotions you have, or share all the ideas you have. Otherwise, you guys you might have some conflicts each other.
As long as you share your feelings since the beginning, you get to know the other person more and more, and so you know how to act to respect the other person.
Thank you for your time. Could you introduce your background?
Yes, I'm Kevin, 24 years old, Brazilian, living in Japan for 5 years.
ゆうなで24歳です。日本人です。
We are dating. We are in a relationship.
How did you guys meet?
We have a mutual friend. We started to follow each other in the Instagram because of this friend. We went on a date 10 times until getting a relationship. In Japan, normally, like you go in a date like 3 times, and then there is a kokuhaku, like a a confession. Someone like say I like you, and they get in the relationship. But she said like because you were foreign, we are not doing it. But like foreigners, normally in the first or in the second date, they start to like hold hand, kissing, and this kind of things. We didn't like hold hands for I think 6 months. It was really strange.
When it comes to cultural differences, do you find any difficulties?
もともと日本人と付き合うより外国人とデートする方が多くて、でブラジルも結構興味あった。見ないで興味ある文化だと話しやすい、コミュニケーション取りやすいなっていうのはもともとあったから、文化の違いで大きく問題になることはないけど、一番いい文化の違いは日本人本当に愛情表現が少ない。なんか毎日愛してるよとか直接言ってくれるのは外国人ならではかなと思う。
I'm living here in Japan for a long time, for 5 years. So like my mind adapted for the Japanese way of thinking. So I don't feel that much in our daily life.
So, which language do you guys talk each other?
Like Yuna, she only speaks Japanese, so like we use Japanese.
100%.
Yeah, 100% Japanese.
Do you find it difficult to express your feeling in Japanese for you?
Not anymore. Like sometimes I use like as a how to say in English iwake de.
Okay. Excuse.
Sometimes I use it as a excuse, but yes, I can express 100% myself, and I understand her also.
Have you been to Brazil? あ、ブラジル行ったことありますか？
ないです
ない
ないよ
ブラジル一緒に行く予定とかは You have any plans?
Like the Japanese work culture is really like strict, and she cannot take vacation
Like 10 days
to go to Brazil. Yes, so it's really hard now, but in the future, yes, she needs to go. She needs to go. I want to. I really want to.
ワンデーね
One day.
One day, one day.
Actually, she never left Japan.
本当？
うん日本から出たことない飛行機乗ったことない
飛行機乗ったことない。
ない
例えば今の会社とかだとマックスで何日ぐらい休みが取れるんですか？
マックス取れて1週間
1週間だとブラジルちょっと短いね。ちょっと
着いたらすぐ帰らないといけないからちょっと厳しいです。はい。
でかい
なるほどなるほど。
転職考えてほしいです。
You guys plan to live in Japan at the moment? What are you?
Yes. I want to work in Japan, so it's not a problem for me to live in Japan. But sometimes I get tired of like a lot of social problems of Japan, like as living in Japan as a foreign is really hard sometimes, and because of it, I think about to go to another countries. But she is okay with it. Like she said, if I want to, she's coming with me. So yes.
海外に住んでみたいとか。
うんありますね
なるほど
あるある
なるほど。
あまり日本人とうまくいかないから基本的に友達とか日本人だけ外国人だけ
あ、じゃあ自分の周りの友達とかも外国人が多いから外国人の人と付き合うのも抵抗が全くないっていう。
その方がいい
After being together for 2 years, what do you like the most about her, about him? どうですか？
Like she support myself in everything that I do. Like for real. If I tell her something that I want to do, she gonna support me like without thinking about anything. So like it's a really big thing for me. She supports me a lot.
考え方の自分との違いを持ってるけどなんかこう自分のやりたいこととか目標に向かって頑張るのが自分には結構ないことだからそれは本当に尊敬してるところが大きいのとコミュニケーション能力の化け物だからすごい羨ましいね近くで見て勉強してます
Like I really like she improve a lot of things in herself since we met, like health, like finance. She really thinks about like how to use her money now. She's going to the gym because of me.
Any advice to those who just started international relationship right now?
Like I think to get a relationship in distance is really hard. So it's better if you guys like live in the same country. We are good because like we are together, I think.
Because you live in Japan.
Yes, because I live in Japan. And if you know Japanese, it's really important because like she cannot speak English, so it's my responsibility understand everything to tell her, like to explain her everything. So learn Japanese.
I can speak English a little bit でもまあ一番は同じ国に住むっていうのは本当大事だなと思うけどなんか自分がこうだから相手もこうとかそういうのは通じないからどれだけ理解できるかしようとするかで結構関係が続くか合わないなって切れちゃうか変わるかなと思う
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. If you have any video idea about dating, please share. I'm gonna make the videos. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question that you want me to ask people in Japan, please leave a comment too. See you next time.